I did not start out writing this book to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Disneyland, but it's hard to avoid an event of such worldwide significance. What Walt Disney began in Anaheim, California on July 17, 1955, has spread around the world, bringing entertainment, knowledge, and family fun to billions of guests on 3 continents, with more to come early in 2016 with the opening of the 12th Disney park, Shanghai Disneyland. So despite the fact that I was there in Anaheim on that July day, and that I am the only Disney cast member who has participated in the opening of all 11 parks now operating, this book was really motivated by an event that took place in Florida more than 3 decades ago. With the opening of Epcot, the third of those 11 Disney parks, at Walt Disney World in October 1982, I began to receive a steady stream of requests to talk about how Disney does it. The telephone calls and letters came from major corporations, conventions, industry groups, and university professors who wanted their employees, convention attendees, or students to learn the how-tos, the secrets of our success, from the creative talents of Walt Disney Imagineering. At the time, I had spent 8 of my eventual 54 years at Disney leading the Imagineers in developing the concepts, playing a key role in convincing the major corporate sponsors to make Epcot a reality, and producing the myriad shows and stories that attracted more than 10 million people to visit Epcot in its first year. Naturally, I was excited to receive so many requests to represent the Imagineers at so many important venues. My first challenge was this: how could I boil down to a few principles those 8 years? Indeed, the key lessons I had learned from Walt Disney and the many Disney legends who influenced me throughout the nearly 2 decades I had already spent at Disneyland and Imagineering. That's when I developed the original Mickey's 10 Commandments for 2 speeches in 1983. One was in Minneapolis-St. Paul to the National Convention of Science and Technology Centers, and the other was in Boston to that city's Art Directors Club. Mickey's 10 Commandments was a hit with audiences outside and inside the Walt Disney Company from the start. Fun World magazine, which is published by the International Association of Amusement Parks and Attractions, or IAAPA, called it a classic, perhaps the industry's best guide to the creation of themed entertainment. When I originally began thinking about writing a book about Mickey's 10 Commandments, my thought was to concentrate on the commandments as the whole subject, especially as they had expanded over time beyond the original 10 to encompass 40 key principles. But as I traveled the country during the last 2 years promoting my memoir, Dream It, Do It, My Half-Century Creating Disney's Magic Kingdoms, published by Disney Editions in August 2013, and now in its 3rd printing with a Japanese edition released and a Chinese version to follow, I realized that there was a much bigger story to tell, and telling stories was the key. Those journeys were a remarkable revelation to me, even after countless experiences around the world for Walt Disney Imagineering and the Walt Disney Company. The audiences were so friendly, so anxious to know more inside stories about Walt and the Imagineers. Even my hosts were frequently surprised at the turnouts and the sales figures. 700 people at Chicago's Museum of Science and Industry, 300 at the Ocean County Library in Toms River in southern New Jersey, 500 books sold during my appearance at Troy Carlson's Stage 9 Entertainment Store in Old Sacramento in California, turnaway crowds and sold-out book supplies at the Walt Disney Family Museum in San Francisco and the Skirball Cultural Center in Los Angeles, and the throngs awaiting me at the book's debut at the 2013 D23 Disney Fan Expo at the Anaheim Convention Center. At every stop from Seattle to Orlando, I took the time at the end of each talk for a question and answer session and the popular book signing that followed. It was during these signing sessions that my ideas about another book really began to take shape. Everywhere, everyone wanted to hear more stories.
To keep listening to this audiobook for free, click the link in the description. It will take you to a free Audible trial where you can listen to this and many other books for free for 30 days.